Welcome to Beyond the Smoke. My name is Reem. I'm here with, just a good brother overall. One of my inspirations is an entrepreneur, businessman, all around good dude, Mr. Omar McGee.
How you guys doing? Thank you, brother. That was a great intro.
Man, thank you for being here, first of all, on the first episode of Beyond the Smoke. We're here to talk about cigar culture. We're here to talk about a little bit of business. So, man, let's get right into it, sir.
Let's do it.
Now,
Subject.
You've been an inspiration to a lot of people, myself included, especially the youth, from doing documentaries, Flint Town Kids, to moving into the education space, with Executive Prep Academy for finance. And now you're in the cigar business, here at Dubsters. Let's talk about the transition between all of those ventures.
It's just learning. It's growing, evolving, understanding personal goals. As a kid coming out of a poor community, your goal is to get rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think about nothing else. And I hate to say that word. Well, I just say financially free.
Sure.
Right. And through my journey of that, I was able to rub shoulders with a lot of millionaires. Well, not even billionaires. And I was fortunate enough to really learn how money works. You learn all the stuff that they don't teach you in school. Mm-hmm. So within that, once you accomplish those initial goals, you sit back and start thinking to yourself and start remembering all the things that you went through and all the people that suffering from the environment you come from. And that environment is universal when you talk about the hoods across America. And you're like, you have a quick understanding that, listen, you have to find a way to get that information to the youth because they will never get it. It's isolated. So that was my motivation to open Executive Prep Academy of Finance. So I'm able to give, our kids that information. I mean, it's so vital. It's so important.
Very much so.
And just the basics of it. Mm-hmm. We don't have those conversations at the dinner table. Yeah. Even if we had the dinner table, sure. A lot of our kids don't even have food, don't have a consistent meal. So to be able to give them financial literacy is the most important thing, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So that was my motivation for the school. I think to this date is the best idea I ever came up with.
Wow. That's
no
awesome.
question about it. It's nothing that can surpass giving back to the youth.
That's awesome. Now, in business in general, mm-hmm. right, it's good to have foresight, right, and to really be in tune with your intuition. You know what I mean? What is your process? How did you decide? Okay, from I'm doing this documentary, then to transition. What made you?
Well, it was real estate first. I did really well in real estate. Okay. And then the school. I mean, the film gave me a chunk of money, but anybody in film and entertainment industry understand that you have to diversify. You have to find ways because you don't get paid until the next film.
Sure.
That didn't really sit well with me. Mm-hmm. And I teach that to a lot of our students and kids, not just our students, just anybody that talks or want to converse with about business. I talk to them about understanding money, but understanding it's more out there. Entertainment is not just, it can't be your go-to move. It's too inconsistent. The floor is just, the foundation is not stable.
Right.
So within that, I just ventured out to find a better foundation, in real estate was one. And I did really, really well in real estate. And it gave me the opportunity to, sacrifice a lot to create Executive Prep, which, again, is the best idea I ever came up with.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's great. What is your source of inspiration? I mean, to do these things, to have that vision, what inspires you?
Fun. I mean, I get bored fast. Like, I'm always looking for the next deal. I'm looking for the next challenge. Mm. I just don't believe in wasting any days. I don't believe in wasting time. You have to be productive every day. Mm. And creating a business. A lot of people, they're interested in the result. Mm. I love the process. If you don't love the process, you'll never have the result. That's just simple mathematics. It's not going to work. You have to enjoy it. When people always ask me, "Hey, you work so hard." I'm never working. I'm having fun with life.
That. Yeah.
Never working. I'm putting in, outside of my wife, if it's not my wife or I'm taking care of something that she wants to do,
Yeah.
I'm having the best time in the world developing businesses. Those are the things that motivate me. And, you know, I don't have a job. I have a great life.
Damn, that's great.
You know, I love waking up in the morning and teaching kids and going over, you know, business plans and numbers and creating businesses and what's the next challenge in the cigar world. And, you know, whatever I can do to evolve and be a better person.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I think, you know, one thing that we do have in common is that we both did a documentary. I think when I first met you, I was speaking to you about the documentary that I was working on at the time. I ended up doing a documentary. I ended up traveling the country, funded it myself, toured the country with it, and created different speaking panels.
Got it.
Speaking to people face to face.
Dope documentary, by the way.
Thank you, brother.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Really good work.
Thank you.
In my opinion, it's a lot better than mine. But go ahead.
But one thing that I stressed when I was speaking to the kids in regard to the music industry at the time, but it translates to different businesses about relationships. Yeah. I see you do very well at maintaining and cultivating the relationships that you have. Yes. Can you speak about how important relationships are in business?
You know, business, I always say this, like when you pick your college, you know, college is not necessarily education, right? It's important, don't get me wrong. Sure. But the benefit you get out of college is networking, building those relationships, building those bonds. And, you know, I remember when I first graduated from college, you know, it was the frenzy once you get out of college, everybody's calling and I got hired over here. I can try to get you over here. Or I was hired over there. And, you know, that was the thing to do. Is like, okay, who got the biggest job? Who got the biggest opportunity? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And that was a very exciting but scary moment because, you know, you're figuring out your life. But it's funny because 20 years down the line, those same people are CEOs and presidents. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this is true. This is not an opinion. This is actually a fact. And now it's a phone call to get things done. 10 years ago or 20 years ago, it was, I call you, you have to call this person, that person, that person, this person to get to the top. Sure. Now it's just one phone call. And those relationships are made, you know, 17, 18 years old. Sure. And cherishing those relationships are priceless. And just in business, your audio have to match your video. You know, you got to make sure that you are what you say you are and deliver. Don't say you can do something that you can't. Be very honest. In that respect, to go a long way. Yeah. And, you know, and people understand who you are really quickly. Even if, and just let's throw away wealth, accomplishments, you know, it's the small things in college, man. You have $10. Yeah. I'm broke. Yeah. You guys, yeah, I got $10. Here you go. Yeah. You know, don't say, yeah, I got it. And you get over there like, man, something just happened. You know, it's the small things that build a great relationship. Wow. And, you know, it's just being accountable for anything or everything that you say. And I mean, we understand some things happen, but you definitely have to be honest within that and be as honest as you possibly can. Sure. It's very important. So I think those are the most important things in a relationship. It's just making sure your audio match your video. Be who you say you are.
I think that's great advice. And I've given that similar advice to kids across this country. Now, we're sitting here at a cigar lounge, Dubsters. Tell us how you got involved with Dubsters.
This is actually not my idea. This was a place I would come to when I just wanted to get away from the world. I just fell in love with the place. I fell in love with, you know, the culture, the idea of it. And the guy that started it, which is my partner, CW, he asked me to get involved. And I was like, you know, cool. This is what I see. He told me his vision. And I was like, okay, let's take it to the next level and, you know, do it as big as possible. Wow. And now we have a lot of, you know, celebrity events, a lot of, you know, Mary Giuliani even came through. Wow. You know, it's a great idea. It's just something that I'm, you know, very proud of. That's dope. You know, and we actually got some big plans for the future, thinking about making it even bigger.
Wow. So it appears to me that more and more, and I don't know if it's just me, more of us from our community are embracing the cigar culture. Why would you say that is?
for a lot of us, it looks like the cool thing to do.
Sure.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why I got into it. I was like, man, that's just because I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't smoke weed or anything like that. I don't have no vice. A lot of my meetings, throughout my travels, when I meet people, like the people on, that level of making things happen, they smoke. So if I have to choose a vice, I have to choose this.
Sure.
Because it doesn't jeopardize my lifestyle. You can't get a DUI for smoking a cigar.
True.
You can't get busted like weed.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, it's pure. It's no chemicals in it. It's not a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's tobacco.
Yeah.
You don't inhale. There's just a lot of benefits to it. And it's relaxing and it's cool.
Sure.
So that's what attracted me. And I just fell in love with the culture and everything about it. And being able to present this to people that had no idea about the cigar culture is just amazing to me. Like and the women fall in love with it. They come in and they're just like, oh, I never smoked before. And you give them the flavored cigars to kind of, lure them in. And once they get to smoking, they want something stronger. Oh, I'm starting to develop my palate. And they start talking about all the different things that they're feeling and creating these great conversations. And not just cigars, just about life. Like we have just great conversations, professional conversations, business conversations. Just, man, I just want to vent today. I just want to tell you what's going on with me. And, that's what we're here for.
Well, it's funny you brought that up because I was fortunate enough to be here at the grand opening.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you invited me. And I said, yeah, I'm definitely coming through. Because it's one of the things that I actually enjoy doing as well. One of the things that I noticed, it was a successful event.
Yes.
I met a lot of good people here.
Yes.
And it seems that there's a strong sense of unity, a strong sense of fellowship. I'm not sure, is that something that you try to cultivate here at Dubsters, or is that just really cigar culture in general?
Well, anything I do, not just cigars, not anything. I mean, when you build a family environment, it's just comfortable for everybody. People that sponsor Executive Prep are here. I'm able to give my sponsors, my donors, my investors, I'm able to give them a good time. I'm able to call them outside of asking for a check. Hey, come down. I got a few cigars. We got some stuff, a nice package waiting on you.
Sure.
You and your friends come in and have a good time. Let's just kick it.
Yeah.
Let's just have a great time. I don't want nothing from you today.
Yeah.
Today.
Right.
Let's just have a good time.
Right.
And that goes a long way in building a relationship because, I think that's what sets me apart is the fact that, I do have something to offer you instead of just every time I call you, it's can you donate to Executive Prep or can you do this or can you do that? Sure. Let's have a good time. I'm your friend as well.
You've been smoking for a while. I've been smoking for a while. What are some of the things that you would tell a new smoker to avoid?
In the cigar world, I'm actually a new smoker. You have people been smoking for like 30, 40 years.
Right.
That's like crazy with it. I can tell you everything about a cigar from one look. What I try to tell people is start off slow to Connecticut, something light.
Yeah.
Don't start off with anything strong because it can destroy what you feel about cigars really, really quickly.
Sure.
So if you're going to really understand this cigar world, you have to study it, talk to people. So tell us about that first cigar experience. Wow, the first cigar experience. I'll tell you the first cigar experience, right? And I told you, I'm really new to this. Sure. I'm not like, 30, 40 years, not even 10 years.
Yeah.
My first cigar experience, I was at the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight, right? And one of my buddies that's in the boxing world really heavy gave me a Monte Cristo.
Okay.
Dark strong, right? And we were walking after the fight. Thank God he gave it to me after the fight. We smoking, walking down the street, going back to our hotel, very happy, very disappointed in the fight. I was glad Mayweather won. But at the same time, I wanted to see a better fight. And I'm smoking this cigar and just, wow, it was like the ground was getting closer and closer to me. I was like, what did you just give me, man? It was like, it destroyed my night. But that's an example of what I mean when I say, like, don't just smoke. Because, I heard Michael Jordan say the Monte Cristo. I heard so many people talk about Monte Cristo. So I just thought it was, the thing to do. It was way too strong for me at that time. My palate was not developed. I didn't even have nothing to eat really. It was a bad experience. So from that point, I said to myself, cigars, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And then I started, slowly getting back into it, and I learned the right way.
It's a process.
It's a process. Yes, it's totally a process. And now I'm just in love with it. I'm very in love with it, but I had to rewind, understand it better, and then develop my palate the right way.
So far, what has been your best cigar experience so far?
My best cigar experience every day. I would say, are you asking my favorite cigar?
Oh, yeah, your favorite cigar right now. Because mine changes.
Mine changes too. I mean, I try so many. I mean, we get so many brands in, and some are terrible, some are great. I just did a commercial. I can't say the name, but I just did a commercial for a terrible cigar.
Wow.
But I was in the midst of doing a commercial while I was smoking it, so I couldn't say nothing. It was terrible.
But that's how it is, right? You got to find your way. I think everybody's palate is different. You got to find out what you like. And when you were talking about the process, I think that's really, a good example of that. You have to find what you like, right? So like you said, you start off something mild is something that I would recommend to anyone.
Yeah.
Start off mild, then kind of move to like a medium body cigar, and then kind of move into a full body cigar, and just try different things. Connecticut broadleaf, or like you said, a Connecticut or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm into Nicaraguan cigars right now. That's like kind of my thing right now. I started off. It was weird, kind of a similar situation to you. I started off with Maduro wrapper, and I was just kind of a stronger cigar, and I was like, but then I started to develop, and now I'm just kind of getting into the mild cigars. You mentioned Monte Cristo. The White Series is one of my favorites right now.
Definitely. The White Series is totally my favorite. It's one of my favorites. I love the White Series.
First thing in the morning with a cup of coffee.
It's nothing.
White Series.
White Series is great.
Man, the draw on that thing is so smooth.
Ridiculous.
And I'm like, okay, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, White Series is definitely one of my favorites.
Yes.
I'm glad you said that. That was like one of the cigars that helped me develop my palate. White Series. But the Fuente is great. I love my father. My father. Yeah. AJ Fernandez is ridiculous. Like he's just one of the best. Like you can't even hate it.
I recently had an Ashton VSG. Probably one of the best smokes I've had, aside from maybe like a Christoph or a Padron.
Yeah.
Really top shelf stuff. And I'm telling you, when you get one of those, you want to just be able to take your time. And I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about cigars, really, is the fact that you are kind of forced to relax, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You have at least, 45 minutes to an hour to smoke a good Toro, So it just forces you to sit in the back and just relax, man. What do you enjoy most about cigars?
It just depends on the mood. Like right now, I have a busy day. So, I have the short Cornelius and Anthony. It's a real quick smoke. Very good, light. Stay focused, not too relaxed. So like right now, this is the ideal cigar for me.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
So
it just depends on my mood. When I want to relax, I pick up something heavy. If it's at the end of the day.
Depending on the day you had, right?
Yeah. Depending on the day. If I want to forget some stuff, definitely the party kit stuff.
1845 is great, right? Yeah. So you've had a lot of success, man, and I admire you. And, I would definitely like to be speaking to you more often. We don't speak enough.
Yeah.
But I know you're busy and I'm busy as well. You've had so much success in all your ventures. What is next for you? What do you see coming up in the future?
I just follow my heart. I listen. Every day I'm on a hunt for the next thing. You had some failures. You have, it's just long as your wins outweigh your failures, you're okay. And if you follow your heart, if your heart's not in it, it's not going to work. It can't be a good idea, but I really don't like it, because it's, you take care of business is going to take care of you. That's just the way it is. It's just like a woman. If you don't pay attention to it, she's going to eventually leave you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with business. That concept never changes. So you have to be very loyal to your passion and your heart, because if you don't like being there, it would not work. I'm 100% in, and anything that I decide to do, 100%. I don't think about plan B. I don't think about none of those things. You go in with the winning attitude. I never think about what I can't do. I only think about what I can do. Because our mind is very tricky. You got to, be very cautious about how you think about things, because sometimes fear can conquer you. You start thinking about what you can't do more than what you can do. And then it's, you're not following your passion at this point. You're paying attention to your fear, and your fear is controlling you. I don't have fear, really. Wow. I'm very adamant about winning. I love winning. Yeah. It's nothing better than winning, but the process is the most important part.
I want to thank you personally.
Shoot, again, man, let's talk, man. I like talking business, man. What we doing?
Being an inspiration, man. It's just great to see people that look like myself out there doing big things, and I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to come up with the next idea, the next project as well. And this is one of them. So you being my first guest means a lot to me.
Oh man, thank you. It's an honor for me to be, on the first Beyond the Smoke.
Omar McGee, this is Reem. This is Beyond the Smoke. This is the first episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time.